title. I had just entered into the multi-million-dollar status.
Okay.
And I started questioning whether or not God had actually opened the door because of what was happening personally. So I was in an abusive marriage.
No.
Yeah. So it was pretty chaotic behind closed doors.
You're rising to the top professionally, but going through hell privately.
Absolutely.
I don't know if I could do that.
Right before I turned 37, I had what was a TIA.
TIA, what's that?
It's a precursor to a stroke. When you're sitting at the top of your driveway or you're sitting in your garage and you don't want to go through the door.
Yeah.
In the pressure cooker, one more step is a really, really big step.
Help me understand. Help me.
Help me.
The first one.
A chief of human resources officer and a senior vice president at the age of 31. Without a master's. Wow. And without a single HR certification, because I'm not playing. You are not going to tell me what I can't do. You're definitely not going to tell me what God can't do.
What's going on, fam? It's your boy, Anthony ONeal. Welcome back to the table where we have a real and impactful conversation around life, money, and purpose. Today, we're diving into a power conversation about something that we all face at one point or another. Those moments in life when things tend to fall apart. But most importantly, we're going to talk about how to reclaim hope and rebuild when that happens. I don't know about y'all, I've had those days. Heck, I'm going through that right now. Things are just dropping, they're just falling all over the place. But how do you have hope through the midst of chaos? So this is a great show for me personally today because I'm excited to have an incredible guest here to help us do just that. My guest today is none other than Bethny Ricks, author of Face Forward, Reclaiming Hope When Everything is Falling Apart. In her book, Bethny gets real about her own personal struggles, everything from professional setbacks, I'm thinking as well, to parenting, wow, to moments of questioning God. Oh my goodness, we're gonna talk about it. She's here today to share her story and give us some wisdom on how we can all find resilience and hope no matter what we're going through. So whether you're going through something right now like me, which I think this was a God moment, or maybe you've been knocked down by life in the past, this conversation is going to bless you today. Bethny is going to break it all down for us. And I want y'all to get her brand new book. We'll make sure to put it inside of today's show notes. And most importantly, she's going to talk to us on how do we get back up and keep moving forward with purpose. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. You know, I love it when the Bible says this in Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not harm you. Plans to give you hope for the future. Today's conversation is all about finding that hope, even when life feels uncertain. So let's not prolong it, all right, you guys, because we're about to get into it. And she's going to be talking directly to me today. So grab your pens, grab your notepads, and let's dive into it because right after this quick commercial, my friend Bethny Ricks is going to share her journey and drop some amazing jewels and gems on how to reclaim hope when it feels like everything is falling apart. We'll be right back. Hey, yo! What's going on, family? It's your boy, Anthony ONeal, and I want to share a secret with you. I want to share something with you that I regret not doing sooner. If you've been thinking about getting life insurance, now is the time to act. Let me tell you about my friends over at Ethos, the life insurance company that's making waves with its affordability and ease of access. You can get coverage for as low as $30 a month. My own rate was just around $60 a month, and I spend more than that on food delivery. Let me be honest. I want to give you some quick points of why I love them so much. Number one is their rates and affordability. Imagine paying $30 or $68 a month for a peace of mind. That's less than most of your monthly subscriptions. Number two, ease of use. You can get up to $2 million in coverage without any medical exams or blood tests. Just answer a few quick, healthy questions and you're set. The entire process is 100% online and take less than 10 minutes. Number three, speed. You can get a quote in seconds. You can apply in minutes and have same-day coverage. I got my coverage coverage through Ethos literally in 10 minutes and got my thing back quick. Trust and reliability is the last thing I love about them. Ethos has an A+ rating with the BBB and stellar Trustpilot reviews. Every day, around 2,000 families are approved for life insurance through Ethos. Listen, I don't want you to wait. Life insurance rates can increase by 8 to 10% each year you delay. I purchased my policy a few years ago, and if I had waited until now, my price would be significantly higher. Lock in your rate right now and secure your family's future. I want you to visit anthonyoneal.com/ethos to get your free life insurance quote. Apply and get coverage in under 10 minutes. Don't procrastinate. Take control of your future today. Bethany! Why are you laughing?
You, man.
Why?
I mean, it's laughable.
It's not laughable.
Yeah, it is.
Bethany.
Everything just falling apart.
It just really is.
Every day. In small ways and big ways. You know what I'm saying?
Serious. I was reading your intro and your book and learning more about you. We've known each other for a while.
Yeah.
And I love following your journey. And I'm like, yo, but I didn't know you kind of questioned God a little bit in certain areas of your life. What season was that?
That was at the peak of my professional journey.
Professional journey.
Yeah, the peak of my professional journey. So right as I was getting everything.
Wow.
The big title, I had just entered into the multi-million-dollar status.
Okay.
And I started questioning whether or not God had actually opened the door because of what was happening personally. So the math wasn't mathing.
The math wasn't mathing.
No, it wasn't, because I'm like, how is it all of these things are going on professionally, but then my personal life is complete and utter chaos?
Isn't that funny how that happens sometimes, though? It's like personal life is jacked up.
Right.
But then business is like, confused and like, wait, why is it happening over here, but it's not happening over here? I'm curious, Beth, and let's go back to that. What was happening personally? Do you mind talking about that?
Absolutely.
What was
my marriage was very volatile. So I was in an abusive marriage.
No.
Yeah. So it was pretty chaotic behind closed doors.
Okay.
I had been married for 10 years.
Was it mental abuse or physical abuse? Mind me asking.
Mental, emotional. It was the whole gamut. I had 2 young children.
No.
And so this like pressure cooker.
Yeah.
And I was playing the illusion game where can't tell anybody that that's happening because I'm on this rise. I'm this Black woman in corporate America. I'm very young. No one knows how young I am. I'm probably 29.
29?
Yeah, I became a vice president in the public world at 29 and an SVP of global human resources at 31. So I was one of the youngest Black female executives in the country for a publicly traded company. So I know. So
He's like, hold up. I gotta scoot down on this one. We're gonna talk about this because you're rising to the top.
Yes.
And I'm just flowing. I don't know where this is going. You just gotta flow with me.
Yeah, I'm rolling.
You're rising to the top professionally, but going through hell privately.
Absolutely.
I don't know if I could do that. You see what I'm saying? Like maybe it's just something in y'all ladies.
I mean, you know,
because I think seriously, I think that you all are clearly built differently, right? And I'm like, I wonder if God just gave y'all the capability, because if I'm not good personally, my business feels that. And that is a flaw of mine. Because it's like, if I'm not good here, then I don't walk into the business like everything is gravy.
Yeah.
Like today, you know what I'm saying? I'm still doing the job. I'm still doing it to the best I could do it.
Yeah.
But I still got to take a moment while I'm here and be like, okay, this is some crap.
You probably could do it. What I did is I put a mask on. So I was not operating as my authentic self outside of my house.
Talking.
So I put a full mask on and I stepped into what was an empty suit.
Wow.
So heels,
Yeah.
suit, dress, full power, full authority. But I was an empty shell on the inside. I had no hope. Everything was chaotic. I was running on fumes. But on the outside, private planes, car services everywhere I went, multiple assistants. So it looked and appeared as though I had it all together. So people approached me as though I had it all together. So I built my life based off of illusion, and I started to buy into that illusion. So that's how I made it work.
Wow. So I'm curious, when you would leave your job, this illusion of I'm a VP, I'm flying private, I'm making all this real good money, I'm building something great, and then go home.
Yeah.
To
chaos.
Chaos with your husband. I want to talk to that person. I think there's a lot of people watching this right now who can relate to that. They're going home to chaos, whether that's an abusive relationship, whether that's children issues, whether that's I'm drowning in debt and I don't know what the heck I'm gonna do.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? How did you navigate that season of your life and not blow up, not do something that could have prevented you from being at the table today?
Oh, absolutely.
That could have hurt your future today, right? How did you navigate that season?
On the realist side, every day I would sit at the top of the driveway and clench the wheel of the car and just take a deep breath before I went in.
Wow.
Just mentally preparing myself for the next ditch. So I went ditch to ditch. So I went from one professional ditch to the personal ditch. And then I kept my eye on the North Star that I had and the goal that I had, which helped me build this resilience. And it was, I'm not doing this for the rest of my life. I'm not doing this professional thing for the rest of my life. I'm not doing this personal thing for the rest of my life. And so I have to keep moving forward until I find some semblance of relief. And for me, the North Star was, I'm not doing this only until I'm 45. So I'm not going past 45. Okay. So that was kind of the goal that I had in my mind. And I just leaned into that. Even when I had nothing else left, I'm like, but I know that if I keep taking a step towards that goal, I'm one step closer. I'm one step closer. And that may seem like a really, really small thing, but in the moment, when you're in a pressure cooker, one more step is a really, really big thing.
Wow.
So it was a really, really big thing. When you're sitting at the top of your driveway or you're sitting in your garage and you don't want to go through the door.
Yeah.
In the pressure cooker, one more step is a really, really big step. Even though it's a trembling step, it's a big step. And so that's what I would do. And I did that for years.
How long? When you say years?
I mean, I was married for almost 10 years. And then I had a 20-year career. And I walked away from that when I was 38.
What, you walked away from the career?
Yeah. I said, all right, I'm out. I'm done.
Why did you walk away from the career?
Because I'd done all the things and I wanted something else.
What else did you want? What? I'm confused. Help me understand. Help me. Right.
I actually had a health scare. So the real story, when I was 37, it was actually 37 I walked away. Right before I turned 37, I had what was a TIA.
TIA, what's that?
It's a precursor to a stroke.
Okay.
So in August of 2020, I was in my kitchen and I was on a phone call because I worked in human resources. So you always get calls when there are problems because I'm a problem solver.
Yeah.
And I make problems go away.
Yeah.
And my side of my face went numb. So side of my face went numb. I was rushed to the emergency room and I was hospitalized for 3 days. And they let me know that I was having a TIA. And it was brought on from stress. And they let me know that I was several decisions away from having a massive stroke. Due to stress, due to choices and decisions and being on the grind, and leading a global team and deciding to only sleep 4 hours a day, because sometimes our goal, so your North Star, sometimes can actually impede you. So I was so focused on that thing and not healing correctly and not pausing and not appropriately managing my life that I was also killing myself.
Were you still married?
No, I was divorced.
At that time, you was divorced by that time?
Yeah, I divorced my husband filed for divorce in 2017.
2017?
Yeah, so I was single, happily single.
Wow.
For almost 7 years.
But you were just working hard.
Yeah, just working hard. Because again, I was not going to do this past the age of 45. I had achieved success very early.
29.
Yeah, so once you become, in the public world, corporate world, once you become a vice president, you start earning equity in the company. So shares and stock. Your bonuses become 6 figures, and you get wealth management teams. So not financial advisors, wealth management teams who are managing your portfolio.
Yeah.
And if you do that correctly, you have these investment plans, which I tapped into.
Yeah.
Your company pays for it. And I was utilizing those services very early on, so it made no sense. My peers were 60 and 50. I'm 29, 30, 31. Why would I do this?
Yeah.
Why would I keep doing this until I'm 50? So I said, oh, well, when my kids go to high school, I will transition out, take a break. Their college is already paid for.
Wow.
We'll be good to go. And that was kind of the plan.
Bethany, you talking my language right
I know. Oh yeah, I can do, this is why I love what you do and what you do for community, because I mean, you are spot on with everything that you say and do at a macro level and a micro level. You're giving the building blocks for success.
Yeah.
Where people tend to fall short, that I see as a people professional, is they're not decisive decision makers in their own life. They're willing to punt accountability. They want to outsource accountability in their own life, and therefore they remain stuck year after year, month after month, day after day.
You just say they want to outsource accountability.
Mm-hmm. They want everyone else to be a decision maker in their own life. It doesn't make any sense that the information that you give people, the practical financial information that you give, and I watch your show and I have followed your account for years, the practical financial information that you give people, there is absolutely no reason why they should be stuck. You should not be stuck. You should not be stuck.
She done came on this show face forward.
Reclaiming. We snatching it all back.
What is the So I gotta ask you this question. I wasn't prepared to ask you this question. I really just want to talk about your soul and your journey, but I do want to ask this question.
Yeah.
When did you really start investing into your future? At what age would you say you was like, you know what, I'm gonna start investing into a 401k, some good mutual funds, like I'm gonna start working on building my portfolio?
Probably about 27.
Wow.
Which would be late.
Okay.
Considering when I entered into the corporate world.
Yeah.
But probably about 27. I came from that school of thought in terms of how I was raised, which is, having $100,000 cash in the bank. The whole stock market and portfolio world and how money works for you, that was not something that I was necessarily taught. I went into the business world. I've never taken a single business class in my life.
Yeah.
My degrees are in sociology and criminal behavior.
Wow.
That's what I went to school for. I was going to be a lawyer or a sociology professor. So I didn't learn those things even in college when I got my degree.
Wow.
So I was a little late there, but that investment plan probably started there, and I'm 41 now. So I just started dumping my bonuses.
Inside of that,
my kids' colleges are paid for.
You straight.
Oh yeah, and if they decide not, they know the milestones they have. There are requirements. For them to access that money.
Well, like what? Give me one requirement.
I'm not playing.
What's one requirement?
I am not playing.
Do they know the requirements?
Absolutely. They are 13 and 11.
So they got to go to school, or they got to get some form of education?
They have to get some form of education. They do not have to go get a 4-year degree.
Okay.
Period, full stop. Because college isn't for everyone.
Facts.
I'm the oldest of 5 children.
Yeah.
And 3 of us went to college, 2 did not. We are all wildly successful in our own way.
Come on now.
All wildly successful. My parents have been married for 42 years.
Wow.
And we all stand in our own power, in our own authentic way. Only 3 of us have a 4-year degree, and it's perfectly fine.
When have you had that conversation with your kids that, hey, you don't have to go to school, but I need to see some form of improvement, evolvement? Did you have that conversation with them?
Yes. It is a routine. They have to go to, so I live in Ohio.
Okay.
They have
We talked about that.
Yes.
Praying for you.
The South has my heart.
Hey,
the South has my heart.
Ohio.
Oh, I know.
What?
The South,
I got
it's blame my parents. They moved there from Virginia before I was born, and
coming back to the Carolinas.
My dad pastors there, so
oh, that's awesome.
The roots.
I take that back.
Yeah, my father.
I'm so sorry.
He's a
Pops. So sorry. I'm so sorry. That was so rude of me. Okay.
He likes the South too, though, because it's cold. Ohio's cold.
Ohio is cold. That's why I said I'm praying for you.
It's cold.
Probably why you light skin too.
Right? Not enough sun. But I got the curls.
There you go.
So for my children, they have to go to school outside of Ohio.
Oh, so you want to expose them to something outside of Ohio?
Outside of Ohio. The things that I will give them is when they turn 10.
Okay.
They got $500 to start a cash portfolio up to $5,000. Once they hit $5,000,
okay,
I will take them to my wealth advisors and they will start their own investment portfolio.
What?
And I will sit with them and my team will sit with them and we will start then. So my son is 13, he's almost there. Probably by the time before he's 14, we will sit with my team and they will start their own portfolio. When they turn 13, they get to go to a trip anywhere they want in the United States. My son just turned 13. We went to California to see the redwoods.
Wow.
When they turn 16, I will buy them their first car. My husband and I will buy them actually Joseph will, because I don't know nothing about cars. Joseph will buy them their first car. My husband will.
Okay.
When they are 18, I will pay for their college outside of Ohio because that's where they lived. So if they choose to live in Ohio, it's not because that's the only thing they've known. It's because it's what they're drawn to. Right? Because sometimes we stay because it's the only thing we've known.
Okay.
And we haven't been exposed to anything else.
Yes.
And I'll pay for their college up to a master's. And then for wedding, I'll buy the dress, but I'm not paying for the wedding. I'll buy the dress and maybe do the honeymoon, but I'm not doing that.
So you're going to buy your daughter's dress?
Sure, and my future daughter-in-law. I'll buy the dress and the honeymoon, but I'm not paying for a whole wedding.
I like this. I mean, you've literally put together a strategy
and communicated to them.
This is so good.
No drugs.
Yep.
No alcohol.
Yeah.
Your job is to get good grades.
Okay.
And what I'm doing is raising decisive, we are back to where we started, decisive decision makers. That's my responsibility as their parent.
Come on.
Mentally, spiritually, and emotionally.
Yeah.
Decisive decision makers.
Yeah. That's Bible though.
That's Bible.
That's not Bethany, that's Bible. Raise your children up in the way that they should go. Mm-hmm. And you're saying, hey, wire underneath my house, no drugs, no alcohol, get good grades. Because people probably say, Anthony, you don't believe in out of state tuition. I don't believe in out of state tuition if you have to go into debt over it.
Yeah, no.
Bethany ain't going over debt. So the way that she's raising her kids, if they don't get a full ride scholarship, they're going to get some scholarships. And then she's going to complement the scholarship and pay the difference.
Correct.
But I love what you're saying is I want to be strategic in making sure that I expose my kids.
Correct.
To where if they do live in Ohio, it's because that's where they want to be. But you and your husband gonna leave.
Yeah, because, I mean, once they go at 18, he and I are going to go live.
Yes. Wherever
our life,
live.
Wherever we want to live.
You know,
they are off the pay. What I tell them is, this is when you are off the payroll.
Wow.
This is when you are off and there's no fear in it because I am setting you up for success to live your life.
Yeah.
And live your life well.
Yeah. Did your parents do that for you?
Yes, they did.
See, that's what it is.
Right? So
that's what it is.
My dad bought all 5 first car.
Wow.
He paid for our college.
Masters, up to bachelor's?
Well, there's a story behind masters.
Okay.
He paid for bachelor's.
Okay.
The reason I do not have my master's degree is because I had a leader look at me and tell me, I was an HR manager, and told me, as a Black woman, you will never be a senior executive unless you have a master in certifications. And because I'm stubborn.
You said, no, I'm gonna prove them wrong.
And so I became
the first one
a chief of human resources officer and a senior vice president at the age of 31 without a master's and without a single HR certification, because I'm not playing. You are not going to tell me what I can't do. And you're definitely not going to tell me what God can't do.
Come on, man.
So let them be wrong about you. Let them be wrong about you, and let them think whatever they want about you. Let them treat you how they want to treat you.
Yeah. No, hands down.
Yeah.
Hands down. No, I didn't know this about you. I'm serious.
You know, I kind of move in the background.
You sure do.
Yeah.
Because I don't think people understand what you're saying right now. You've just set your kids up to be millionaires before they turn 45.
Yes.
A $5,000 portfolio by the age of 13, 14, 15, they take that $5,000 and they invest that?
Yes, and then they're going to do it again, and then we're going to start again. But it's cash. I want them to feel the money. So they do their work for my mother, their grandparents, the yard work, their chores. So they're just building up this money, and they put it away. They have their little account, and once it hits 5,000, we're going to the wealth management team, and you're going to sit
and learn.
And they're going to chart that for you. What I do twice a year.
Yeah.
They're going to sit and understand, okay, now this is how money works. At 13, at 16. So every time you hit 5,000, and it's not my money, that's your money. Now I'm doing my own thing as your mother, and your father, your stepfather is doing his own thing. We're doing that thing together as a unit, but you are also going to invest in your future.
You know, Bethany, I just want to say thank you. Thank you, because we have young kids learning the right way because parents are being strategic and showing them, exposing them, and not just trying to be cool parents, but be right parents.
Yes.
I want to go back because I feel some people are encouraged by you today, hearing how you're mothering, hearing how you've been able to go out of this unhealthy first relationship to now. I remember when you got married on your Instagram, I was like, yo, let's go, Bethany, to this great, healthy relationship.
Yeah.
And it sounds like he's partnered with you for real.
Oh, yeah.
So it was like in one season you felt stuck, and you probably were stuck.
Oh, yeah. In
this season, I see freedom, I see peace, I see joy.
Yeah.
What encouragement will you give to someone right now who's watching this and saying, I feel stuck. I feel stuck in this season that I'm in. What advice would you give them to become unstuck in this season that they're in right now?
Well, there's one question you have to ask before you move forward, because there's power in pausing. Yeah. Which is, how did you get here?
Okay. How did you get here?
How did you get here? Because
that's a question that we don't want to ask.
We don't want to ask. Sometimes we find ourselves at a cliff and we want to back away, but we don't ask, how did we get here and who led me here?
Ooh, Bethany.
Because sometimes we didn't get to the cliff by our own decisions. Sometimes we actually followed someone there, and then that person disappeared.
Yes. No, that's facts.
Right?
That's facts.
So to get unstuck, ask the question of, how did you get here? So that you learn from your mistakes, you learn from your failures, and you're not caught in a loop. Yeah. Right? We want to break the loop. You're not caught in the loop. Yeah. And then to get unstuck, you have to minimize the fear and minimize the doubt. And a part of doing that, you have to understand that you're not starting from scratch. So that's what I always tell people. You're never starting from scratch. You're taking the lessons forward with you. Yeah. And so just one step forward. Yeah. And it may sound like I'm saying the same thing over and over again. Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Yes, I am. Because I want you to do that
Over.
first.
Over.
I want you to take one step forward first. So if that's getting out of debt, do that first.
Okay.
If that's removing the leeches from your life, those relationships that are not beneficial, do that.
I think for me, when you said that, I was like, oh, it's like, it ain't deep, but it's deep. You know what I'm saying? It's
That's the hard stuff.
Because it's not
really hard stuff.
It's not profound, but you just said it. It's like, that's hard. I got to look in the mirror and ask myself, how did I get here? Or who led me here?
Yeah.
Because the part is, asking a question is not hard. It's being honest about the answer.
It's the answer.
You know, because it's like, sometimes no one led us there. I led myself there. Now I gotta hold myself accountable because I'm here because of me.
Yeah.
And
I compromise.
Exactly. I compromise. I made this horrible decision. I decided to listen to the internet and not listen to God. Right? And
compromise is a killer. Compromise is and we splinter off pieces of character. We splinter off pieces of right for short-term gain.
Yes.
Because we're like, if I just do this, it'll get me several steps ahead.
Yeah.
Without realizing you're actually taking several steps back.
Facts.
Right?
Facts.
And I'm not saying this from a perch of comfort. I'm saying it because I did it.
Yeah.
I literally was like, well, if I look the other way on this one, if I just, if I didn't look over her, or if I just shake the hand with this relationship because this connection is going to get me here. And meanwhile, God's like, I never even told you to go in this room. I never actually told you to be in this relationship. I actually never told you to do any of this. You're like, yeah, but they know this person and I can do this. And if I could just get this deal. And in the business world, you compromise and compromise and compromise, and you just move further and further and further away from yourself.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're at the cliff and you're like, who am I?
Yeah.
How did I get here?
Yeah.
And how do I get back?
Bethany, you talking. No, you are talking good. I think I woke up on my 40th. And I think right before then, no, you got married earlier this year or last year?
Yes, January.
January this year.
Yeah.
I was like, how my sister get married before me?
And I wasn't trying to get
I was like, how my sister, what? I said, okay, Bethany. But I woke up on my 40th single.
Yeah.
And I literally, God made me ask myself that question. Why are you still single?
Yeah.
And I had to answer that question honestly. And the honest question wasn't because of the lack of amazing women out there. There's plenty. It was because of me. And then God made me write down on a sheet of paper why. Like what in you needs to change so that I can send you your wife, place her in front of you so that you can find her. But the reason why you haven't found her is not because she's not there. I haven't placed her there yet.
Yeah.
Because there's some things on the inside of you that is preventing me from trusting her within your stewardship.
Oh my God.
And when he said that to me, I said, good God Almighty.
You're like, oh my.
And so when you answered that question, when you said that, like, why am I here? It hit a chord because I asked myself that. Why am I here at 40 alone?
Oof.
And when I answered that question and I wrote down the stuff, while it was gut-wrenching to see the list that I wrote out, nothing crazy, nothing like it's like just things I need to work on.
Yeah.
Right? But it let me know why I'm still single. But what I love about it is I was able to become unstuck because now I know what I need to work on.
Yeah. And you asked the question to the right person. sometimes people, it's not that they are asking the wrong question. They're just asking
the wrong person.
They're asking the wrong person.
Bethany.
And I would see it all the time in business. People, a part of my job was making problems go away.
Yeah.
That's what you do as a people strategist. That's what you do in human resources.
Were you like an Olivia Pope?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, we got a problem. Let me make a phone call. Actually, I had a problem. You called.
Yeah, very quickly.
I ain't gonna name drop who you call. I was like, dang, she know that person. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like
it was very, and that was a part of the job is, you know, you solve problems quickly, and you can't be shallow like, oh yeah, I got, no, you have to deliver.
Wow.
But the beautiful thing about what you said is you asked the right
person. And then watch this out. Watch this. I said, watch this out. Lord Jesus, watch this. Came home, took that list, took it to my therapist, my emotional coach, and my spiritual mentor.
Well, now you're tapping into something different.
Because I'm tired of being stuck.
Yeah.
And I'm ready to get out.
Yeah.
And I love what you said. And y'all, Bethany talks about this inside of her book, Face Forward, of how you can do all this. So I literally want to say this now. Get a copy of her book. Because I've known her for a couple of years now. And I mean, I just love the character that she leads with, the integrity that she leads with, the strength of a Black woman that she leads with. Like, let's just be real here, right? And sisters, I need y'all to get her book, because this is important information, what we're talking about, and she dives deeper inside her book. And we'll put the link in the show notes. But Bethany.
But for people who, so let me give you I'm gonna give you something special that's not in the book that would only be for on your show.
You're amazing.
Only on your show.
What's your husband's name?
Joseph.
You got a real one.
This is only for Anthony ONeal. This is something I would give in a private session.
Talk to me.
What's really important is that people pay attention to who is their personal board of directors.
Yes.
Right?
Okay.
You know where I'm going here, right?
Going.
In your personal life, who are you leaning on? So a lot of times when I go in and talk with leaders, I pay attention to the leader, but I'm also paying attention to the person who they're leaning on and where that person leans.
Oh. Wait. Say it one more time. Say it one time. You're paying attention to the leader.
I'm paying attention to the leader in the room.
Okay.
Right, because I'm a leadership expert.
Right.
I'm paying attention to the leader in the room, the CEO, whoever the big wig is in the room.
Right.
Then I'm paying attention to who that person leans on, so the number 2.
Okay.
But where that person leans. Because here's what has happened to me. Now I'm gonna talk about me, what has happened to me when I was the head honcho.
Yeah.
I found myself leaning on an empty suit. So what happens in your personal life, so now I'm going to go from business to personal, because wisdom goes ditch to ditch.
Yes.
Right? It goes from business to personal.
Yeah.
In your personal life, those people who you are leaning on, where are they leaning?
Yeah.
So when you call them, when you are under pressure, what are they leaning on? What's their knowledge? What is their spiritual awareness?
Yeah.
What is their understanding of the Bible?
Yeah.
What is their understanding of business problem solving?
Yeah.
Are they feeding into your toxic behaviors? Are they yanking you out? Where do they lean? Because if you are leaning on someone who is leaning on empty, what's going to happen to you? What's going to happen to you? And so what happens is, in this world of personal board of directors, people are picking their friends.
Tiffany.
People are picking their friends.
Yeah.
They are picking people who they feel comfortable with, but your comfort zone is not free. It costs something. And what it's costing you is stuck.
Tiffany, I hope you're listening. I done said it 5 times, Tiffany. I hope you're listening. She's talking about you. I'm telling you right now.
So you want to be stuck because it's comfortable.
Me and my homegirl Tiffany was just talking about this.
Really?
Yes.
Stuck is comfortable. So people are listening. They're like, oh my gosh, why is this person staying in this place? Oh my gosh, I don't understand why you're not moving forward. Oh my gosh, why aren't you turning forward? Because stuck is comfortable. Because you have complacent attached to you. The thing about a leech in business, the thing about a leech, a person being a leech, you don't realize that it bites you. Mm-hmm. It actually puts out a poison, like that you don't know that it's attached itself to you. Right. So in the business world, I would see these leaders who have leeches attached to them. They had no idea they've been bit. Just sucking them dry. So yeah, you stuck because of what's attached to you. Break it off.
No. My homegirl Tiffany, her and her husband run a business, and their right-hand individual just resigned. She was like, her and her husband were talking about how it felt like they were leaning on empty. And she's like, and we leaned hard on this time and we all failed because we didn't realize that she was just a lynch.
Yeah.
And when they fell, it hurt their company tremendously to the point to where it impacted their personal lives.
Yeah. And
so she was like, man, now before I move forward, before we rehire, before we reposition, we got to make sure who are they leaning on? Like, that's not what they said. That's your term.
Yeah. But it's still the same.
It's the same. Right? I was like, what in the, this is making sense, Bethany.
Yeah.
Like,
and some of us realize
I wasn't ready for this. I'm just being honest, Bethany. I was not ready for this. I knew you were like super smart, but like you just talking my language right now.
Yeah.
Because people are stuck. Mm-hmm. One, because it could be them, but then two, it could be because of who you followed and who you even trusted.
Yes. Ugh. And that stuff stings.
You trusted them, but where were they coming from? Mm-hmm. And were they following the right direction, mm-hmm. the right voice? And it just goes back to, are you having accountability for yourself?
Yeah.
And not waiting on others to hold you accountable. And I love how you said that we got it. Sometimes our personal friends cannot be our personal board of directors.
They cannot.
Because they're not going to hold us accountable.
They are not.
Earlier, you said something about the North Star. Mm-hmm. I want to go back to that a little bit because I think we kind of skipped over that. You said it was a North Star that helped you get out of your car to inside the door when you was in that negative season.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the North Star because you talk about this in your book. I want to break this down for someone on how they can come up with the North Star. And I'm curious, why did you even call it the North Star, though?
Well, the North Star is a pretty common language. It's the thing that you focus on.
Yep.
Right? It's the thing that you look towards, and it's the brightest.
Yeah.
So it's your why.
Yeah.
Why are you doing this? And it's why you're making the decisions that you're making. And it's unmovable.
Yeah.
So in my book, I talk about the unmovable, being the decider of your own life.
Wow.
Being the decision maker. So it allows you it gives you permission to be the decision maker in your own life, which sounds weird as adults. Like, Why do I need permission? Yeah, you need permission because you're not doing it.
Facts.
You're not doing it.
Facts.
So here's your permission slip to be the decider. And that North Star has to be very practical and very simple.
Okay.
So like I said, I'm not doing this past 45. Mm-hmm. And these are the goals that are going to get me there. Mm. And I didn't tell anybody. Keep folk out your business. I didn't tell anybody so that no one could deter me.
That is so, I got to start doing that.
Because everyone would have been like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, what are you doing? Why 45?
Why 45?
Yeah.
And people called me a fool.
Yeah.
When I would leave jobs or when I would switch companies, they were like, why would you leave Gap? It's one of the largest, they're in their prime. Why would you do that? You could ascend, you could move to college. Why would you not take that job? Why would you not be the head of HR at this place? Because I have a goal. Keep folk out your business.
Bethany, God's speaking through you today. Seriously. I was youth pastoring at a church in North Carolina. And a great opportunity came for me to go to a bigger church, to a bigger city, to learn more, to grow more, to evolve more. So I was leaning on someone inside of that current church that I was at, and I trusted them.
Yeah.
I told them, hey, this opportunity came and I'm thinking about taking it. Will you pray for me? They said, yeah, we'll pray for you. It was a husband and a wife at that time.
Yeah.
In there, I was 22, 23, 24, right around that young 20s. I want to say they was in their mid 30s, maybe. Actually, no, probably in their 40s, right? And so I'm thinking I could trust them. And the pastor comes into my office the next day and pretty much fires me on the spot.
Oh.
And I was like, what happened? It was like, I already know. You should have talked to me first. And I was like, about what? What are you talking about? I already know you're thinking about that. I said, yeah, I haven't taken nothing yet. When I was going to do it, I was going to come to you. And it goes back to what you said, keep people out of your business.
Yeah.
And not everyone needs to know your North Star.
Yeah.
You need to know your North Star.
Yeah.
But not everyone needs to know your North Star, because that people, that particular couple, and I hope you're watching, they went back and told him.
Yeah.
They didn't pray for me. Mm-mm. They told me they would pray for me. They said that they would cover me. They would say, we'll pray that God will give you the right decision. No, they went in there to get me fired.
Yeah.
And what if I wasn't going to take that job? Now I'm out of a job. Now
Exactly.
my life is impacted because I invited someone into my personal space. I gave someone my North Star. And so when I was not considering, but when I knew I was going to leave my previous situation, and I didn't tell nobody. I told one person, and I told that particular person, Pastor Darius Daniels, the day before I was going to actually do it.
Yeah.
Right? And so when I had that conversation, I felt good because no one really knew what was going on in my mind. But I had a North Star like you. Like,
Exactly.
I can't do this past this time.
Because people mistake applause and nice for community. Like, oh my gosh, Anthony, you're so wonderful. Compliments, you're so wonderful. That does not equate to community.
That's not.
That does not equate to community. That does not equate to prayer.
Right. Right. Yeah.
That don't mean nothing. Empty suit.
An empty suit, no substance, no relationship.
Right.
And I think for me, what I've learned over the years is I desire community because community covers.
Yes.
Community holds you accountable.
Yep.
Community will hold you up when you're a little weak. Mm-hmm. But community will also wild out with you.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And I just love that community.
Yeah.
Bethany, you have this amazing book. I want to talk about that for a little bit before we get off this show, because we're in the same publisher. So she's doing big things. Okay, it's big things, huge things, massive things. To be on my publisher, to be on her publisher, that's a, man, wow, I'm excited about this. But I'm gonna look at it over here. Face forward, reclaim hope when
everything falls apart.
Everything falls apart. Why face forward? Why the name Face Forward?
Because there's nothing for you in the rearview mirror. Where else are you looking? Why are you looking over your shoulder? Why are you looking over your shoulder? Jesus is forward. Your future is forward. Take the lessons with you, step forward. Wow. And I want you to snatch it all back. All the mistakes you've made, all the missteps, all the failures, the things that you've splintered, take it back. Wow. Reclaim it all.
When I look at the book, it says face forward, and your back is towards us.
Yeah.
You're facing forward.
I am. And follow me as I go forward. Wow. And I talk about the mistakes that I made. Wow. As a leader, you know, in life, and the grit and resilience that it takes to get back up. That's not easy to do. I almost lost everything in my divorce. I was the one paying spousal support.
You wait.
Yeah, I was the one paying the spousal support. Yeah.
Oh, wait up.
Yeah.
Wait. We got time. We got a little bit of time. What?
You know, I'm always throwing in little bombs here and there. Yeah. So I had to rebuild with 2 small children.
Wait a minute. Wait, Bethany, you got to rewind.
You know what I'm saying? That's why I always say I earn the right to move as slow as I want.
Bethany.
Yeah.
You had to pay child support to another man?
Spousal. Spousal.
Spousal support to another man?
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. And that's a matter of public record. You know, because of how much money I made.
How long did you have to pay for? How does that work? 2 years?
Yeah, 2 years.
You said it's public record?
Yeah, that's court record. That's not.
Come he knows and ask you, how much did you get this man a month?
I'm not going to tell them.
Okay, I had to ask.
It's going to be that messy.
Because I'm like, what?
I'm not going to be that messy. But
and you had the kids with you?
Yes, I have always had custody of my children. But there is, you know, when you make a certain amount of money, but I was married.
You were the breadwinner.
I was the main breadwinner. He worked, but I was the main breadwinner.
Main breadwinner.
Yeah. He filed.
He filed.
Uh-huh.
How did that make you feel, honestly?
Oh, I felt so lost and so broken because I had been dropped by someone who was supposed to care for me and hold me close. I'm not, you know, as strong as I am. That was a fracturing to the core of my marrow that created an anger and a separation between me and God because I didn't have anybody else to blame.
I'm sorry, Beth.
Yeah, I mean, it was a hard walk back to, you know, wholeness.
Wow.
And God was patient and kind with me in my frustration and my anger. And I'm unapologetic around how I felt. I have no shame around how I felt in that journey. Nobody's going to shame me in that.
Right.
But I also was, you know, I was a wonderful wife.
Yeah.
And I am a wonderful wife now. Ask Joseph.
Joseph.
He'll tell you.
Joseph. No, I believe you are.
Yeah.
I know you are. And you're the first woman I've ever met who said she had to pay spousal support. And I only can imagine he filed for divorce. You get the kids. You still got to provide. Now you got to turn into the priest, the prophet, and the provider of your home for your 2 kids. Still got to get them to go to work and then help another human being pay for their home. You got to deal with all that emotionally. How was your community around that time?
Wonderful, full of support. The church family was amazing. And God is faithful. He's faithful and he is steady. And so for me, it was about praying in a way that I believed that God was going to deliver on his promises. So I had to pray like I believed that he was going to deliver on his promises. Even when I didn't necessarily believe it, I had to speak it out loud. Like, I know that you're gonna, because you said you were going to. And here we are.
And look at you, married, kids are
sitting
winning.
here with Anthony, kids are winning.
What do you do now for a living? What's your career path?
Speaker.
Okay.
Writer, and I consult with leaders on the side, but mainly a speaker and a writer. I travel around and motivate people to their best next.
Wow.
I'm motivating you in word, spoken and written, to your best next.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing. And who knows, maybe one day I'll go back and sit in a C-suite office. But I don't have to.
I was about to say, I don't know.
It's a choice.
I don't know if your husband gonna want you to go back. He was like, nah, baby, stay right.
That's what he says. Joseph's like, you know.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I'm with you. That's what you want to do, but
that's right.
You can stay home, baby. You can stay.
That's literally. He's like, you know, I support you, love, but also.
Right. I don't know.
Perfectly fine.
When you have this caliber of a woman, you don't want her to go back up underneath all that stress.
Yeah,
Joseph don't want you to come home like, wait a minute, are you having another TIA? Hold up.
Like, what's going on?
Nah,
That's really.
That. No.
Yeah, I also enjoy cooking.
Okay.
So I'm a avid cook. So he's also, when he comes through the door, you know,
Put me back on this camera right here.
On your own.
Josh. That's his name, right? Joseph?
Joseph.
Keep this woman at home, my guy. She cooking at home? Bruh. It's hard to find a cook right now. You got your cook. Don't let her go back to work, my guy.
Ain't nobody going there. Look, y'all are not ganging up on y'all. Leave me alone.
Hey, man. Hey, let her know. No. I'm the man of this house. I'm just playing. Don't do it. Cause she ain't, I can tell. She like, oh, really? Is that what we doing?
I would just shake my head and laugh at him. Like, you know what? I'm not messing with you, Anthony, none of y'all.
Joseph, I got your back. Just call me, bro. I got your back, bro. Keep your queen at the house.
He's going to say, see?
I'm serious.
Hey, see?
Yeah, man. I mean, you out here writing books. You're impacting lives. I don't see you back in the C-suite. I really don't. I think God is doing something amazing through your life that the world needs, that I think this book's going to get a taste of you. And I just believe that what you see now, I don't think C-suite's going to even be an option in the future.
I appreciate that. You know, I want to pour out into my community. I want to pour out into our community.
And you're doing that.
All the stuff that, you know,
I've
learned over 20 years. So
you're
why not?
You are doing it. Y'all, I'm excited. Bethny Ricks is, and I didn't know your last name, Ricks, but Bethany. I didn't know Ricks. She is in the building, y'all. And we're going to put all of her information inside of the show notes. Please go get her book. Please follow her on Instagram. She has one of the coolest feeds. I can tell she's like a neat freak and like just very special because it's just all organized. But it's clean, but it's also informative, and you will learn something from her Instagram, from her book, and just from her content. All right, so we're going to drop all information inside of today's show notes. I know we went a little bit over, but hey, it's all good. When you got this kind of wisdom in here, you got to ride with it. So check out our information. Bethany, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you for having me. This has been great.
This has been absolutely amazing. I didn't get a scripture today because we were just talking about all of God and throughout this whole thing. So you got enough words. All right. Hey, listen, we love you. God bless you. And I'm going to see you in the next show. Peace out.